Hi everyone, back today with another video. There's going to be two parts of this. The first part is what I would recommend you buy on the auction house if you're an enchanter. So I've had this question asked a couple of times and I thought instead of answering all of the comments, and I will still do that, but I thought people might prefer a video where I actually explain why as opposed to just go buy these. Here's basically my take. These are all of the enchants currently for sale. So what I did, recipes, enchanting, filter current expansion only because I don't care about the other expansions. I'm not doing anything with that. That's not how I'm making my gold. You might care if you're a collector or if there's just something in particular you want, but that's not how I'm making gold. So I'll just talk to you about what I'm doing. So the first one I recommend you buy is Oath Swan Strength. I consistently make gold with that. I know it says 80,000 gold, but I earn the money back in a week. So between making the gold level enchants and the silver level enchants, so today I sold a bunch of them and I made, I don't know, about 1,000 gold profit on each. It's come down a little bit now, but that's on the silver level enchant. So I don't have a cap on that. I can sell as many of them as I want. I was making those with bronze ingredients and I made a lot of gold. So Earth Swan Strength makes a lot of gold and it's consistent. You will get the gold back very quickly. So that would be the first one I recommend buying. The next one, Leeching Fangs. So this isn't quite as popular as the Oath Swan Strength enchant, but I still sell a lot of it, like weekly, almost daily. It's not always in profit, but it is often in profit, and I make a lot of gold. The next one is Chant of Winged Grace. So that one, every day it makes gold. Sometimes it makes 200 or 300 gold a day on the silver level enchants. Some days it makes 1,000 to 1,500 gold on the silver level enchants. And the gold level enchants can often make between 2 and 3,000 gold. When I have gold level enchants to make, I prioritize the Oath Swan because it makes between 3 and 6,000 gold. So those are my top three. Buy Oath Swan Strength, Chant of Leeching Fangs, and Chant of Winged Grace are my top ones. The other ones to look at after you get those. So I would really prioritize those three. After you get those, start looking at the weapon enchants and the ring. I sell Curse Mastery not very often, but when I do, probably once a week, I would say, I sell it at silver level. And the gold level for the ring enchants, it doesn't do very well, to be honest. If I'm going to be putting gold level anything on, it'll be the Winged Grace or the Oath Swan. But the silver level for Cursed Mastery and the other cursed enchants, they actually do pretty well from time to time. At least weekly, you'll reach a point where they'll make 500 or 600 gold per enchant that you sell, and this is in profit. And they're really easy to sell. The competition is just really low. You don't have to try very hard at all when these ones are in profit to sell them. With the weapon enchants, just have a think about it, to be honest. They're okay, but unless you specifically need it for yourself, like if it's your best enchant for your main or something like that, definitely go and buy it because it's much cheaper than buying them on the auction house. But from a purely gold making perspective, I would not recommend starting with those. I know the Oath Swan and the Leeching Fangs and the Chant of Winged Grace are expensive. I know, but you will make so much more gold off those enchants than any of these other ones. So avoid the Authority unless it's, like I said, your best one, or you're at a point where you've bought those other three and you're looking for the next thing that will make you gold. So once you've bought the first three, consider these other ones. I would start with the Cursed enchants, and versatility doesn't do so well. It's not often in profit, and the price reflects that. But critical strike, mastery, and haste, they all do very well. The radiant ones do better. Radiant mastery, radiant haste in particular, those two, they sell pretty frequently in profit at a silver level. So they're worth considering as cheaper alternatives if you don't have the gold you need to buy these first ones. These are cheaper alternatives, but you will not make as much gold off these as you will those first three. If you're absolutely in a position where you cannot afford these and you're looking to build up your gold, then start with the Radiant Ring Enchants. It's a good starting platform. It's not going to take you too much gold to get started. Prioritize haste and mastery. I don't sell a lot of versatility. I don't know how many specs actually need it. I have no idea, to be honest. I know that as a priest. And like I said, I only have one character, don't have an old army. As a priest, as a shadow priest and a disc priest, I tend to stack haste and then critical strike or mastery. So versatility isn't on my radar for my characters. And I have noticed that there isn't a lot of demand for it on the auction house. It does occasionally sell in profit, and I do have it in my stash in the bag here, which means at some point it was in profit and I made a bunch and sold a bunch, but not quite all of them. So if we were to cap this to the priority, Oathsworn and Chant of Winged Grace, then Chant of Leeching Fangs. If you cannot afford those things, watch my other videos. I'll show you how to afford those things. But if you cannot afford those things, start with the Radiant Ring Enchants. So for the next part of the video today, I'm going to show you another gold farm. It's super easy. You'll make a ton of gold, like a stupid amount of gold in a really small amount of time. So I'll go show you that next. I have talked about it before, but this whole channel is about how to make as much gold as possible with the least amount of effort. So that's what I do. I don't want hours of grinding. I get bored easily. There are just so many things I'd rather be doing. I'd rather be raiding or delves or even the world quests, like the undermine stuff. Like, it's all very fun. And I'd rather be spending that than on those senseless grinds. I am doing a senseless grind at the moment, the undermine mount farm grind. And what I'm doing there is I just spend 10 minutes doing that every couple of days when I've logged on. Before I log off, I go there for 10 minutes, I run around, I kill some rares. I have managed to get one of these. Like I said, I'm doing this 10 minutes, maybe twice a week. And right before my raid, I raid on Thursdays. And right before the raid, I'll run around while the raid is being put together and kill the rares there. So that's how I'm farming it, not in a crazy way. I know some people are going hard in it, and kudos to you guys. I don't know how you're doing it, but I'm really impressed you can do that without going insane. So we'll go to the next farm in the next part of this video, but that was just a quick tip for all of the people looking to make as much gold as possible on the auction house with enchanting and how to do that. So those are my top 5. All right, guys, so we are going to the Darkmoon Faire today. Before you go into the Darkmoon Faire, remember to pick up the stuff you need for your professions. It's not why we're here, but you might as well get the free profession points. If you're a tailor, you need the red and blue dye, one of each. If you've got cooking, you need simple flour. I don't know about the other things. Those are just the ones I have. And it's also worth noting that on occasion, you can pick these things up. You see here, vendor price, auction price, 88 gold. This one's insane. It's very unlikely to sell for that much, but you could probably pick up 100 gold for it. It's up to you whether you want to do that and go through that effort, but if you pick it up and list it on the auction house, you're likely to get some lazy buyer. Like, I have been that lazy buyer. So go and consider whether or not it's worth it for like 100 gold extra. Sometimes it is. If you're doing it anyway, you're at that vendor, pick it up anyway, I guess, and just list it on the auction house with your other things. I did buy them a while ago and I did sell them for about 100 gold each, and for the exchange for the silver, it's really not all that bad. It's actually probably a pretty good turnaround. So I'm just going to do these profession quests, so I'll show you really quick. And just like that, I got a talent point 3, I think. Yeah. So it's worth doing, and especially if you're at the point where you're needing to do some catch up. I really need to do something about that concentration. But where you're at the point where you need to do that catch up, where you need to fill out these things so you're making the gold level items with as little concentration as possible. There's an enchanting one as well. It's just a really easy pickup. Like, you can see here, I'm running out of ways to use mine. They're just getting to the point where I'm just putting it into anything. You can see here, I don't know what else to do with it. I've used it for everything else. Might as well just spec it out all the way. So make sure you're doing that before we get to the gold farm part. Just start with it. It's easy. It takes a couple of minutes. You make a bit of gold. But also you get the points that you need to make gold later, which is important. Sometimes the way to make gold isn't immediately obvious. Sometimes it has a delayed effect. We're back with the next part of the video. You can see here, I've got this, I did the stopwatch. I didn't record it for you guys because this new method of recording, you would have had to watch the whole 9 minutes. And I know most of you don't have time for that. This kind of gold videos are coming, get the information and run away. If you're somebody who's doing that, it would be great if you could at least drop a like on the video so YouTube knows you found it helpful. This type of video, people don't tend to watch all of it, which is totally fine. I get it. But just that way so the algorithm knows and it shows other people. So It took me 9.5 minutes, and what I did was a full circle around the island. You need fishing. I don't think it's a requirement to have level 300 fishing. You can just have level 1 fishing. You need fishing, and what else I have that will make your life easier is to buy the inflatable mount shoes. That will help you run on the water, and it will make a big difference there. If you've got a character that can actually stand on the water, that will help as well. So for my priest, I'm using levitate. This lets me reach those tricky fishing spots without having to climb up on things and run around and get up on stuff. So you're looking for the shipwreck debris. I'll tack on a bit of the video at the end of this explanation showing you what those look like for anybody who hasn't seen one. From each one, you get 1 to 2 chances to fish from it. So most of mine on this one loop gave me 2 boxes. I used the cursed goldfish. I don't know if it made any difference or not. I have absolutely no idea. It was just in my bag and I thought, why not? So for the 9.5 minutes, I picked up these fish. So that's 711 gold. You can use these fish to buy other things just before we get into the crates. So that's not the vendor. This is the vendor. So you can see here, I can sell this for 711 gold as is right now. So if you're done with it, that's fine. Go and sell those on the auction house. But if you want more gold making, I would encourage you to buy these. They cost 10 fish each. And I don't know, how much is 10 fish? Let's figure it out. Because English, I taught English and I write books, guys. Math is no strong suit. So for 90 gold, you can pick up this recipe and make 2,500 gold. Now, there are pets here. They cost more. They do say they sell for more. I'm still trying to sell this crab. That hasn't sold. But I have sold the bubble. So it's up to you what you want to do there. But I strongly encourage you to buy these. That's what I'm going to do. Last time the Darkmoon Faire was on, I bought a ton of them. And I sold all of them. Now, you can see here, this one isn't worth as much. And I'm buying it anyway. That's because if the market gets flooded with these for a couple of days, I still have this as an option. It's just a nice side bonus. It's not hard to get the fish. You see there, I turned 90 gold into 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11,000 gold. So that's right there, 11,000 gold right there for 10 minutes of running around in the circle. And we haven't even opened the boxes yet. Then the boxes are the best part. So let's have a quick look at the boxes. So I actually waited for you guys to open these because I know some people get like joy watching these boxes open. The thing you really want is the Darkmoon Firewater. So you can see here, they're worth a lot of gold, especially right now. They do pick up in price a little bit towards like a week before Darkmoon Faire resumes. So there's a month in between Darkmoon Fairs. I'm just going to open all of these while we're here. There's a month in between Darkmoon Fairs, and towards the end, people have run out of their own stocks and other people have sold all of their other ones and they're all willing to buy for a premium. As a side bonus, you get like these. They're not perfect, but they do help for delves or just work content. It's not an unbelievable boost. This increases your haste and battle size for 20 minutes, which is, for a free thing, it's really good. It's going to make my questing faster. It's going to make my delves faster. So don't just trash them. This stuff here is trash. The food, unless you're eating the food for the achievement, it's pretty much trash. This, though, that's almost 6,000 gold right there. So in 10 minutes, how much gold did we make? So after using my calculator, guys, because again, English brain, 10 minutes on Darkmoon Faire and I made 17,000 gold. So if you are not at Darkmoon Faire, guys, go to Darkmoon Faire. It is the easiest way to make gold right now. It's probably more lucrative than that mount farm at the moment, which is, if you pick up that mount, it's insane, but the amount of effort you have to put into picking it up. So even if you're on that mount grind, I encourage you to at least go spend 10 minutes, if you can give it an hour, 10 minutes in Darkmoon Faire, and just go and make some insane amounts of gold. You can see here, there's some competition now. So I'll just run in front of that guy and we'll find some more. So he's going to fish there. But that's what the shipwreck debris looks like. So I'm just going to go find some more just so we can give you a close-up view for this video. And then I'm going to go list this stuff on the auction house. I'll let that guy have some fishing times because I'm making a lot of gold already as it is. So here it is. You see that levitate and the running on the water really helps here. This is what the shipwreck debris looks like. In most cases, you'll get 2 shots at fishing in this, but sometimes you will only get one. There are some add-ons and things that can help you with fishing, and people tell me every time. Every time I say I'm going to get it, and every time I forget. So sorry to those people who pointed it out in previous fishing videos. But you can see here, I got 3 more of those dagger fish. That brings me up to 12. I can buy another one of these things, and that adds like another 2,000 gold to my total. You can see here, it adds up very quickly. You make a lot of gold very fast. You don't have to try very hard. You can do this while doing other stuff. Watch a YouTube clip or something. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Listen to some music, have a coffee, lots of options. That's all for today. Go to the Darkmoon Faire if you haven't already. And as always, remember, girls don't play WoW.